With the sport growing, every year passing, parents and families have embarked on hiring the services of experts to help tap talent of their racing kids. One of them is the Wharton racing family that has hired the services of American superstar Wharton. Who is Wharton? We had a chance to meet with Wharton, and he had the following.
Insanity, stubbornness without a guide. Humanity.
Hi guys, I'm Wharton. I started racing motocross at age of 7. I raced for 10 years in the amateur ranks, and then I turned pro at 17. I raced with teams like Rockstar Energy, Suzuki, and Geico Honda. I had a very successful pro career and had some top finishes and some wins in Supercross and motocross, and was fortunate to travel the world and see different moto communities, racing communities, and as well as training some other riders as well along the way. I'm from Texas, born and raised. I got my start in motocross at the age of 7. Me and my brother started riding together. My father was a racer, so it runs in the family.
Explain insanity, stubbornness without a guide. Broken humanity without good aim to fill this void. So what if I am? What does that make you in spite of me? My fixation, my discretion. Oh, and my greed.
It can take a long time to get to the top. Like anything, you don't really start out being great at it. You know, you have to work at it. And so many years struggling and outside of the top 5, you know, trying to break the top 10, and then eventually you do, you get there, you know, you keep at it long enough and you commit yourself and you get the experience, you go and you travel, you get the experience you need, and you'll get there. And so about 3 or 4 years for me to get into that top, and then another few years to fine-tune myself. And when I was about 14, 15 was about the peak of my amateur racing career. There can be trying moments, trying races, difficult challenges that come with the territory of aspiring to be a professional motocross athlete. It is very hard on the families. It's very financially challenging. And it's very dangerous, as you say, if it's not done right. And that's why you have to get proper training, and you have to take your time. And there's certainly a way of doing it where you can limit those sorts of problems. As far as regrets go, you know, I say we regret not. You know, we learned a lot along the way, and I think that journey has made me a better trainer now because I've experienced it and I've witnessed it myself.
Was it always just a game? Must I always take the blame?
Once you're good, you have sponsors that are backing you. It's the 5 years that it can take to get to that level that can be expensive because, you know, no one's going to sponsor the guy who's outside of the top 10. And a lot of it will have to do with how the industry is that year and how the economy is as well. Because there have been many years where the economy is much better and sponsors have much more money to give out. But as far as what a family can spend $100,000 a year easily, and much more as well. It's depending on how much training you're doing and how much traveling you're doing. You know, winning my first Supercross in 2009 was a high moment for us because that's really what everyone aspires to at a young age. Winning the amateur destinations in 2007 with KTM in Bulgaria was another interesting part of my career. It was a unique race and something that not a lot of the racers in the States get to be a part of. And then there's just the journey, you know, moments along the way that are maybe not captured by cameras nor remembered by the fans, but you remember them.
swoon. I'll give them part of me for you. The sand rains down, here I sit, holding red flowers in.
Well, I started music around 14 as something to do on the side because we were so busy with racing all the time, you know, we wanted to have something to do as a hobby. And so we started playing for fun and just learning a little bit without any formal training. And of course it grew in time, and I started writing songs and I started recording with some top professionals in Nashville, and I made some friends along the way. And so now music is something that I can pursue in a sort of a different way. I can go and record and use it for different projects, which I've always thought that music and extreme sports goes good together. So, you know, there's actually a lot of musicians in the sport of supercross and motocross.
Say it ain't so. My drug is a heartbreak.
Along my racing journey, we had the chance of, you know, racing in Canada, racing in Bulgaria, racing in Finland, racing in areas like this. And so it would be one experience as a racer going. But then when I stepped away from the sport, I would be traveling as a contributor to a magazine, a guest columnist, if you will, for Racer X, and as well as a trainer. And so we got to go to Israel, we've got to go to Nicaragua, now Uganda, Belgium to race, and we're looking at other places, you know, to go. And so we tried to keep expanding along the way. We have some trips planned for later this year, and continue to diversify and to capture the story of motocross in these places. I would say if it's what you want to do, you know, and you live in a smaller motorcycle community, you have to find a way to get out and go to the States or go to Europe or go to a place where there's more competition. You must always have a challenge, and that's the thing about the sport. Is first place is usually only as good as second. He's usually only as good as the guy who he has that's always chasing him. So get out, don't be afraid to mix it up with some other racers and to experience what it's like outside of the motorcycle community where you're at.
Without good aim to feel this alright. What if I am? What does that make you in spite of me? My fixation, my discretion. Oh, am I free?
Now, Uganda Motocross team retains the famed Eastern Central Africa Motocross challenge after beating Kenya at their own backyard in Jamhuri Park, Nairobi. Uganda had their earlier campaign effectively stitched up with the dominant first round lead in April, which Kenya failed to surpass. In the individual classes, it was a tale of mixed fortunes, with both countries calling the shots. Ethan Echar of Kenya turned out victor in the 125 class, where beat Uganda Aviv Aran and Keegan Cheplagat to a brilliant podium dash. Aaron Orand of the Orand Racing Brothers won the 65 MX class on the new KTM machine, beating Kenya's Ras Ghana and Martin Graki on the second and third place positions. Fortune Centam walked back home with all smiles upon sweeping the 85 class ahead of Kenya's James Rusa and Christian Cage. Rolf Kiar of Kenya won the MX2 class, covering the comrade Elias Shamaman and Uganda's Fatu Chigundu. Nguji Wawel of Kenya won the MX1 class up against Uganda's Asaf Nathan and Olivier Van P, who pushed the Kenya's former star rider Shivan Yakak to the fourth place. Gift Sebuguzi proved a quite strong Ugandan winning MX50 ahead of the comrade Isabella Brick and Kenya's rider Tanav Choga. Kenyans will be hoping for an avenge the defeat next year. Uganda scored 1,649 points in the first round and wrapped up the campaign at a total of 766.
The race was good, and the first hits and the practices were muddy, so It was a little bit difficult for us, but then after we rode and the big bikes passed through, the track was okay and I managed to be number 1 in all the 3 heats.
The track was actually very good. A lot of people are saying it was hard. I actually found it nice. It was easy. I had no problems with it. On the practice, I take my time, find my lines, and in all the heats I came 3rd, and yeah, I pushed a lot.
It was very good, and we're happy because this is our 3rd time in a row winning the CSC championship. So Ugandans were very happy, and we hope we'll still win it over and over again.
It's so good you can't even explain it in words. To beat them, it was good. The lap of honor, going around, holding our Ugandan flag high, it was very nice.
For me, because I'd been doing a lot of training in my vacation, so it kept me fit and I had consistent lap times throughout. I had not dropped and I had not increased. That means I was very fit and tried and managed to do all the jumps that were in the Kenyan track. That reduced on my lap time. It reduced, if I was doing 53 seconds, I was now doing 52. So it was a very good improvement for me, and it was good for the race, and I tried to do my best. That's why I won the 85cc class.
It was actually not Alon Holland, it was Raf. But when we went for prize giving, Alon was first, but it was actually Raf because Alon won the first heat. Alon then came, he came 11th in the second heat, and Raf won that heat. Then the third heat, Neo's bike broke down, and then Raf came second, but because of what happened to Alon in the second heat, he didn't have enough points and Raf beat him. When we went for prize giving, Alon was in first. I don't know why, and I don't know what happened. I had consistent lap times. They would only drop by 1 or by 1. I was doing 2 minutes 6 seconds and 2 minutes 7 seconds. I never went higher or lower. Yeah, so that shows progress.
It was very amazing because Milton and his cousin Apollo Milton Akena did not do training or practice. These guys, they are not on form and they are not fit, so it was very amazing, and to do that lap time and the good positions they had got because he was 3rd and his cousin was 4th. That was showing progress because he had not done practice. And these other kids, the 50cc category, Gift Sebuguzi managed to give us a very good show by beating Isabella by far. And that's all. Even all classes, we got podiums in all classes, so that increased on our points.
No, my dad said he's trying to get me another 2018 for a spare bike. Maybe I'll tell him to wait for 2019s and get that one. And actually, I'm very fit. Every time I go training, I ride 20 minutes to warm up, and then at the end we do another 20 minutes like a practice race. Yeah.
When I got the new bike, because when you get a new bike, everything becomes easier. It's just easy to do jumps and everything. It's very, very good. Everything's good, soft, and it doesn't disturb like the old bikes. So when I got the new bike, it was very easier for me to do jumps, difficult jumps that my competitors were not doing, and it was very nice riding on a new bike. Next year, I'm looking forward to winning all events in on the calendar, so I can be #1 overall and keep on doing practice because I'm still in my vacation with Milton and everyone, so we can get fit. So when we go for other events out there, we can still lift Uganda's flag high. And my Christmas message is that I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm planning to win all the races because no pain, no gain. So I'm going to put in all the pain to gain. And I'm ready. I have a new bike. Everything is good. So now it's only me now.
Before I go, it's just a week away to the much anticipated 2017 Sprint Championship finale, set to be held at Festino City Double Circuit, with many drivers anticipating to push their machines for the finale.
Liked the debate between Arthur Blick and Ponciano. On that day, I will personally come to see the two cars. I am going to have my extra time marshals, and whoever does best average of the two runs, you come straight away to the COC. I'll give him 500,000 cash, particularly for that particular. So I'll definitely be there to make sure my money goes straight away where it's supposed to be. And average of the two. But in case one beats the other in the two runs, I'll add another extra 200,000 to make it 700,000.
Tuzamanya ganze Boat Samuel, driver wa Kaunyelali team. Nebaza nnyo ba driver nga Arthur Posiano babadde bagezaako okunkwatakwatamu. Nkyali driver mpya, mbadde nakafuna emmotoka y'amaanyi, sinnagiyiga nnyo, sinnatandika gipushinga, mbadde nkyalimu ekiwugwe kya ssente zaayo nga nyinza ogisuula, nyinza naye mbagumya nti ngenda nguma kati omwaka ogujja nsuubira okuba kuteekawo competition ey'amaanyi ku badriver banene era nebavaawo abo mu ba top 8 top 10.
Eze nkakasa nakomyewo nja kulaga bakawunyemu nti tukyali balaga nti tukyali kirasi era kati nga alwi omu ku badriver bapya banchallenginze naye nkakasa nti mbadde nakadda naye mukakasa nti ateekeko amaaso agenda kulaba mafumafu yaani.
At the Thursday round, some of the drivers that we spoke to seemed set and ready to step up the accelerator pedals.
We've had some, apart from the overall victory, we also had some stage wins, and we've been running really at the top of the race each time. So now what we're really looking for is reliability. So looking at 2018, the pressure for speed is off because we know we can go very fast without crashing. So we'll be really looking at building reliability and consistency so that we guarantee our podium finish. And hopefully we'll have more points scored by the end of the 2018 championship. Well, as it is for me, throughout 2017, we've been able to gauge our pace, yeah, and we know we are not, we are basically within the ballpark of the winning teams. We also know that we are one of the safer teams, yeah, because we're able to drive without accidents. So I'm really happy with my speed, and I know that just given a little bit more consistency and a little bit more reliability on part of the car, we actually are good for the win.
It's Cheune Edmond, and from the team of Super Lady Susan Mwonge, and we are planning a return from the long leave that we had taken. So on 26th of December 2017, we are returning in this super special stage of Champion of Champions, and I urge all our fans to come and watch the battle between the female champion and the male champion. Susan Mwonge has come back in a big return whereby all fans will be surprised with her drive.
I must say that for 2017 we've had a really poor season, a bogus season actually, and we've been let down a lot by the vehicle. However, we've acquired a new shell, a new body, and I believe that Boxing Day sprint should be a turnover from the hard luck to the good luck. We've gone through our season, our performance, and we've seen the ups and downs, and we're working on that to make sure that 2018 is indeed a better season for us.
It has been a great moment having you on this show for a whole 1 hour. But of course, as Speed Racer, we're glad and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm your speed merchant, Frank Ahes. Keep it at Kwesi Free Sports.